Hey guys, it's Rich, John, or Rich Gwynn, or Johnny from Rich Gwynn, whatever you want to call me. I don't really care. But I'm getting the chance to talk today with JB from MoreisMore. He's a independent artist that a lot of us have seen in the Hedera community, especially talented musician. And so I'd like to take a chance to really give him the floor and JB, tell us a little bit about what you're doing with More is More and why music in Web3.
Okay, well, thank you. What I'm doing with more is more, I guess. So the way it started kind of, I guess, ties into a lot of like what I'm trying to do with Web3. It started because I've been in bands, in and out of bands all my life since I was like 12 years old.
Mhm.
And most recently, I was in a band and we were recording for like 3 years or so, probably recorded like 40 plus tracks. And then towards the end, like I know they were gatekeeping my music. So I had band members, but because I guess I play tighter, I play,
Mhm.
I don't say I'm like, I'm better than them, but they would have me record the parts because I could play them better. And I wrote everything, I tracked everything, the vocals, and when you go into the studio and you record, when you go home, usually like, hey, let me get a mix of what we did today and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
I noticed the recording engineer was intentionally messing up the stuff because he had this paranoia that I was just going to run off with it. And these were like good friends. So
Mhm.
um, kind of started to get to me after a little bit. And then finally it just got to the point where after so long, they're just, I don't know, they weren't really motivated trying to do anything. So I left, and then there was a dispute about like, oh, well, we have the masters, so all those songs are ours. And I'm like, I'm not stupid. I recorded all the
Yeah.
concepts before I brought over. So like, anyway, I'm out of here. And then I decided to pick up music production by myself because I figured if
Mhm.
I'm over there, I was doing all the tracking, everything. So I figured I'd give it a shot myself. And over the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years or so, I have learned everything I possibly can about music production. And at I think it was 2021 uh, is when I first bought my my first small little bag of H bar, and I didn't really know anything about blockchain, but I just that was when Bitcoin was hitting 60,000 and everybody was getting into crypto, and so I figured I would start buying little bits here and there. And over the last few years,
Mhm.
it just started DCAing in, and then really I've learned a lot about what it is and what it does, and it kind of painted this picture for me of like what it could be.
Mhm.
And I guess I just see this future where you're buying albums on NFTs, you're buying movies on NFTs, podcasts, whatever, any kind of entertainment, paying, whatever the same price you would go into the store and pay for an album today or whatever. But I've just been so unhappy with how just how the music industry is. Like there's ever since Spotify and Apple Music and all that have basically taken control of everything, it is next to impossible to actually, especially if you're a just there's so many bedroom producers today, and
Yeah,
that's totally
lots, yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, and everybody deserves a shot to get their stuff out there, but it's impossible. It's gate kept. You can't get in, and it pays so little. And so I started noticing, I'm making no exaggeration, 150 times on Tune FM, just a platform that only a handful of people use,
Mhm.
than I am on Spotify. And that's because the royalties were going directly to me. And, um, it's added up over time. And then the value of Tune FM goes up and all that stuff. And so I realized that it's just a much better medium. It's just you don't have to deal with a record label. Anybody, it's a level playing field where anybody can come in and on their own merit, on their own skill, build up a fan base and actually you work hard, you can actually make a living from it, and you don't have to deal with algorithmic manipulation. And you don't have to deal with it. It's a whole different ballgame. It's how it should be.
No, I talked in depth with Toko Music's first artist Tella about this, and one of the things that I find, at looking at it now, I'm not a musician, I'm a singer, but I've been in the band scenes for many years. I've participated in that. You kind of saw how things were working then, and obviously that was a while back. But I look at how much money that she spent to produce, the time, the energy, the money that was spent to get it to production, get it to mastered, the level that it needs to be for professional recordings. It's thousands of dollars. And then to turn around and upload it to public domain on YouTube where it can be sampled, TikTok where it can be sampled, with the hope that it becomes a viral trend song or something like that. Is that, does it happen? I mean, I guess it does, but not in the majority of situations. The majority of situations is that, like you're saying, these bedroom bands, these garage bands are spending hundreds, thousands of their own money on their own equipment, on their own on their own mixing and all the different things that go into creating a polished record. And then they're just giving it away because it's not paying on Spotify. It's not even paying on any of even the highest paid one. It takes millions and millions and millions of plays before you actually see any sort of money. And even that is, I mean, even Snoop Dogg mentioned, I think he'd gotten over 1 billion plays on one of his songs and he'd only received something like $40,000. So, I mean, you're talking about, come on. I mean, that's one of the main people and artists in the space, and he's getting paid 40,000 from streaming. So I can totally relate to what you're saying. So when you started into creating the music and the what, did you do it with anybody else, or was this just one of those things where you kind of dove in head first and started uploading some of the music that you had already done and kind of playing around with creating NFTs or with it? Who taught you that? Who showed you that, or did you just figure that out yourself?
Well, a lot of it. So as far as I guess the Web3 part goes, a lot of that I've had a lot of help from just people in the community, like especially the people in like the Bonacci chat, because that was the first NFT I ever got. I picked up a Bonacci because I'd been following him for a couple years, and then I decided to launch the line. I'm like, hey, I'll support this guy. He's pretty cool. So bought one, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. But so it's always just been me as far as the production, everything, the writing, the production, because I guess I just felt with like I was telling you about the last band I was in, I just felt nobody was ever going to gatekeep me again. Nobody was ever going to it's like I would rather work with other musicians because you can get some really cool points of view from other people.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not going to have somebody that is going to be whatever gatekeeping and controlling what I do. And then and also something that really, I guess the straw that broke the camel's back was that over the last couple of years, YouTube is their model. Oh, my computer doing it to me again. Anyway, the model for YouTube, that was kind of the platform. Originally, I was uploading just stupid guitar videos on YouTube. I didn't really consider myself a YouTuber or anything, but I was having fun. It was mostly during COVID, so why not? At one point, so they've changed it in the sense that it used to be you had to be part of the partnership program to
to have ads run on your videos, right? Because how are they? Yeah, and I get it. And the problem is that YouTube's model is a failure. And I'm actually, helping write the HBAR car white paper, and I go into at length in that white paper about just how I lost my train of thought. How where was I?
You're talking about the YouTube, how the YouTube monetization kind of ended up being a failure, and so you're helping HBAR car white paper.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this. That's what's distracting me. Let me just here. Let me do this, and then okay, no more distraction. Okay. So they keep changing their policies. Like I said, at first it was you had to be part of a partnership program for them to run ads in your videos. And then they changed that, and they said that we have the right to run ads on your videos regardless. And that first I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. But what really, the straw that broke the camel's back was when I have just my music up there and on YouTube Music, and they're running ads. Even though I had got to a point where I could have monetized the channel, I didn't want to monetize it because I'm just doing I don't know, modification video, guitar modification videos and random songs, just random stuff. And so when I have my music up there and they're running ads, so stopping my song right in the middle, running an ad, two unskippable ads in the middle of my song, I'm like, okay, you know what? As I got rid of my YouTube Premium, and I was like, I'm not going to use this as a main platform anymore. This model's dead. But then I started looking into why they're doing it, and it's because their model is failing. They've made the mistake over and over again, and they keep doing it. They've done it ever since Google bought it. That they have basically changed out the role of the consumer, because when people watch YouTube, most people are under the impression that they're the customer and the product is whatever videos they're watching. And, that's how it should be. That's why YouTube was lucrative, because then ad companies are coming to YouTube and saying, hey, put my stuff on this video because people are watching it. Sure. But then at some point, because YouTube is just completely, or Google is just completely mismanaging that entire ad service, they have kowtowed and keep going to, they basically taken to where instead of the viewer being the consumer or customer or whatever, now the advertiser is the customer and they're selling us to the advertiser. And so it has just clamped down more and more to the point where now creators that have been on there forever, who make their living, they're getting, their livelihoods are being threatened. And any kind of it's possible to upload content and get traction, make a living or whatever. It's possible, but it's so rare because they just keep choking any kind of life out of their business model. And I guess that's why I'm so drawn to Web3, because there is no advertiser that can come in and veto. Somebody makes a song that I don't know, that's slightly offensive or something like that. They can't just come in and veto that, and now that's buried in the algorithm or taken down or flagged or something like that. And I've noticed that there is this huge parallel economy that is emerging. People are tired of the same cookie cutter music, the same garbage that they're feeding us, and they're seeking out more creative stuff, more just being able to speak openly without that.
No, I 100% agree with you on that, and I think that the originality aspect is going to really, I mean, art in general, right? You see things reproduced and you see things changed or sampled or whatever, and everybody says the same thing. It's like, I heard the original song, the original song was better, blah blah blah. Well, why are we still resample? Is there no new creativity? And there is creativity. It's just not allowed to grow organically. Not allowed for people. It's not an easy road for people that write, compose, perform, you know, self-produced. It's not an easy step to get eyes on your work, right? And I feel like the natural progression for music NFTs, so to speak, is well, I say the natural progression. I think it's the natural next step. I mean, I think that's where you're seeing just this huge artist appreciation of Web3 because it gives you the option to just do whatever the hell you want and not have to sit there and listen to say, well, nobody really likes this kind of music. Maybe if you change this or you change this or you change the tempo or you know what, we like it, but we need another 10 songs from you and we need it by there's just so many different things. So like if you're somebody that just wants to create 5 songs and release 5 songs, you can do that, right? And you can find a marketplace if you can build a community around it. You had mentioned that you're working with HBAR Car. Talk a little bit about what you're doing with them and how you're helping and building out that project, because I'm going to be talking soon with HBAR Car and James Malone, and we'll be talking a little bit about what he's doing. I'll be doing one of these talking with Rich episodes with him. But tell me exactly what you're doing, and if you can, and what you can, and give me a little insight on how you're working with those guys to build out that brand.
Gotcha. So James approached me oh God, a while ago, and was in I think he was saying something about just trying to get musicians, and I was like, hey man, I just known him from just talking with him in the Bonacci chat, and I was like, hey man, you want to use any of my stuff, feel free to. I do all different kinds of music, everything from like really heavy metal to more indie, and then also jazz. I do all kinds of stuff. So like, I started working with them on that, and then I guess eventually it started to become a more serious thing, and so I took on I'm trying to get the white paper together. It's pretty much finished. Just have to go back and refine it a little bit. And I am working on trying to pick up some more musicians, as like I was saying about earlier. It's just this environment, like Hedera has the potential to be the best environment imaginable for all kinds of entertainment, not just music. I mean, whatever, comedy, podcasts, everything, every film. And to actually, and if you ask the normie, hey, what do you know about crypto? They'll, like 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say, oh, it's a scam, and or if you ask NFTs, it's just like in a really expensive JPEG. Those are a scam, and it's the narratives around it are really bad. So we are trying to like tackle that narrative, because it's not true. It's not true. Like, I'm not wrong. There's unfortunately that whole narrative is it's slightly deserved, because there's been lots of scams that have taken place. But I think that as it develops, it's going to get less and less, and the environment is going to be just prime for anybody who wants to create.
I agree. Though with the multi-file system on Hedera, it really was the best fit. When we were working with Hella, for musicians, you guys are multifaceted. I've never met a musician that only just knows how to play guitar. They're always doing something. They draw, they they write poetry, they write music, they are painters. One of the artists that we're getting ready to work with here in Mexico, we've got 10 minutes left on this, but he's also a painter, so he's got some amazing things that he works on the side that, if you just listen to his music, you think he must just spend all of his time practicing that, but he doesn't. He's multifaceted, and so it's an exciting thing to actually be able to showcase in one NFT multiple different mediums for an artist. And I think that that's where there's really going to draw a nice artist community. So we got about 10 minutes left. Why don't you talk a little bit about some of the things that you are doing personally? Like with More is More, are you planning to do any sort of NFT collections of your music? And when can we expect to see that kind of stuff?
Gotcha. So real quick, I just wanted to say, I really dig Ella's music. I can, just as a musician, I can hear she's the feeling in the music, and it's something that's very rare these days. Yeah. Huge fan. I've been listening to it a lot. But anyway, as far yeah. As far as I'm so I'm actually working on an LP right now. So gonna end up being 11 to 13 songs. I have most of it tracked, and I'm kind of starting on the mixing and mastering. I got a lot of stuff. I have a few songs that I have set aside that are going to be possible. Not exactly sure how we're gonna release them, but it's most likely going to be some type of collaboration through H-Bar Car, and I definitely plan to hopefully collaborate with some of the artists that I pick up, because I've already done a couple that have turned out really good with some other people, and but yeah, I think we're gonna end up at least releasing a couple singles for the H-Bar Car soundtrack. But when I do get this album together, probably in the next, it might take me another 4 to 6 months. I'm kind of taking my time on it. I want it to be really good.
Well, but you shared a video with me. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit, but that's some fire. Did you sing on that too, or are you a singer?
That's all me. That's the drums, bass, guitar, vocals, everything.
Wow, bro.
That's amazing. That's just like I'm doing it all myself, because I didn't want to get, I was tired of that stuff I was talking about earlier. But so if anybody, I don't know if you're gonna post that link, but if you do post that link, that's actually exclusive for your show. It's gonna expire in 10 days. So if you're listening to this 11 days after, it might not be there, but it's just so people can go and check it out. Just go click the link. It's just an unlisted video on YouTube, or just a whatever song, not really a video, but go check it out. It'll be up for the next 10 days. And eventually that'll be put into an NFT on the H-Bar Car, and hopefully.
Amazing, brother. I listened to it. You have your first like from me. I was like, that's some pretty good. I mean, you're a very talented person, and I'm really excited for the things that come from you. I really am looking forward to this NFT. I'm a huge music fan, so for me, my passion project is Topo Music, and so working with Ella was just like a dream come true. To be able to open up a completely different door to a market that she had no idea was out there, and I have no doubt that everything that you do is going to be amazing. Yes, if you're good with that, I would love to post that link to the song on YouTube in the description on this video, and I appreciate that, man. We're gonna make music a music thing. Make Hedera the space for musicians. I believe we already got it done.
I hope it is, man, because it is such a better environment than whatever the heck we had going on, man. It's like musicians lost all. I mean, they already had little power when the record labels were ruling the roost, but since like streaming companies came along, it is nothing.
Well, we're going to change that. We're going to change how that is, especially for people that are independent, creating original music. Listen, we got about 5 minutes. I really appreciate you coming on, man. We're gonna be talking, like I said, we'll be talking with James concerning the H-Bar Car. But any links that you want to share with this, please feel free. This is low key, man. I'm just basically winging it. But I appreciate amazing artists wanting to be a part of this. So you allowing me to link that song to this is really special. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. No problem.
And thank you for the music you built out for Rich Wayne, man. That's That's amazing, brother. When I heard it, because I hadn't really listened to anything that you had made yet. So when you made that, the music that I put behind the Rich Quinn Metaverse Car Collection, I was like, what? I need to pay this guy more because this so that's what you mean by more is more. You literally over delivered on that stuff, brother. You did an amazing job. So
That
I
was actually
appreciate you.
the MoreisMore thing is just it's a little quip at those people I was telling you about. It's a little quip with them because he the producer kind of liked to rip off other people's songs, and he wanted me to rip off a song. He's like, bro, just do this, less is more. And I was like, no, man. I used the whole Yngwie Malmsteen line. I was like, no, man, more is more.
More is more. Turn it up
And
to
so
11.
if I ever get traction and they see me going, they'll know what it means.
You'll get traction, brother. You're just amazingly talented. I can't say enough. So I can't wait to link this, let people listen to this new track that you cut. I thank you for coming on today, folks. If you want to start looking at some projects maybe that you haven't been able to find because you've been kind of focused on one thing or one chain, we here at Rich Gwynn are going to be focusing cross chain. Every DLT has amazing artists, and so that's what we want to shine the light on is and get some exposure for some of these projects that are amazing and need to be showcased. And JB, more is more. I can see great things ahead for you. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Have a great.
All right. You too.